Before I say anything else, I need to make one huge correction, okay? I do believe that all through this entire video, I kept saying we are getting ready to make sticky rice. Oh my goodness, it is an amazing side dish, but it can also be a main dish too. The ingredients are simple. There are a few steps, but they're just a few ingredients. Sticky rice was actually made popular and famous by Chef Bobby Flay. A lot of you all know exactly who he is. And this is pretty much my take on his sticky rice recipe. Long grain rice is typically what everybody uses. I am actually using basmati rice because that is just my favorite rice. So I'm using that. You'll need a unsweetened but full fat coconut milk. Salt and pepper normally goes in it. I'm using my Pam's Prep all-purpose seasoning. You can put scallions in it. You can put other vegetables in it. I'm just going to add some parsley today because I'm out of scallions. And you will need a very high heat. I am using Strength Genesis macadamia nut oil. It's one of my favorite, and it's high heat all the way up to 500 degrees Fahrenheit. That's my go-to. It's a neutral flavor. It kind of has a buttery flavor, so it complements the rice as well. But it doesn't have a very strong scent to it, and it is not a seed oil, okay? So that's what we'll be using. First thing we need to do is head to the stove. Okay, so in a saucepan on high heat, you want to mix your coconut milk, and always stir your coconut milk. You really should shake the can before you open it. If you can't shake the can, open it and give it a good stir. Go ahead and put that in there. To the coconut milk, we're going to add water, and I'm adding in some of my Pam's Prep all-purpose seasoning. You can add salt and pepper if you like as well. Give it a stir to combine and let it come up to a good boil. Once your coconut milk and water and seasonings are boiling, go ahead and add in your rice. Give that a good stir and bring it up to another boil. Once your rice comes up to a boil, you want to go ahead, reduce the heat, and cover it. Cook for about 20 minutes or until all the liquid has absorbed. Once all the water has absorbed out of your pot of rice like that, you want to turn it off, remove it from the heat, keep it covered, and let it sit for about 5 minutes. We'll be back. Okay, once your rice has had an opportunity to sit for about 5 minutes, it should look like that. You just want to take a fork and gently fluff it up. Now, take a baking sheet, any baking sheet, and put the rice on the baking sheet. You want to spread this all over your baking sheet in an even layer, as thin as possible. And you want to let it cool. We're going to sit this somewhere and just let it cool for about 30 minutes. It needs to be completely cool before we're going to head over to the stove. Okay, so now our rice is good and cool. Make sure it's cool. You don't need to put it in the refrigerator. You can. Actually, if you want to make this ahead of time, this would be the time you want to put plastic wrap over this and put it in the refrigerator overnight. So we have onion here. I'm going to mix this onion into the rice. Now, typically I would use green onion, but I don't have any, so we're going to use what we have today, which is regular onion. Don't have any in the garden, don't have any in the windowsill, don't have any anywhere. So regular onion it is. And just kind of mix it together. You can do this in a bowl, or you can just save that dish and just do it right here on the tray. Okay. Now, you need to heat your skillet up on high heat. The best skillet for this by far is a cast iron skillet. You want your rice to be nice. It's going to be crispy, but you don't want it charred. So this is why I'm using Strength Genesis macadamia nut oil. It is high heat. You're going to need a high heat oil. It's not a seed oil. It's a very, very healthy oil. And so that's my go-to. So we're just going to put some in the skillet and get it turned on. And I will have all the ingredients, instructions, and everything in on my website, pamspreps.com. Recipes will be there. So we're going to let this heat up and we'll be back. Okay, so as your oil heats up, you'll know when it's good and hot enough. You should see it shimmering. If you look closely here, you can kind of see it shimmering in the light. That's what you want to look for to know that it's hot, because your skillet needs to be screaming hot for this recipe. So now we're going to put our rice in. Be careful because there is oil in here and it is hot. So make sure you put it in away from you. Once you get the rice in the skillet, go ahead and flatten it out into an even layer. Press it down into the skillet. Once you get your rice all pressed down into the skillet, we're going to leave it like this, undisturbed, for about 4 to 5 minutes. We're going to check it right around the 4-minute mark, so pay attention to your clock to make sure that it is turning golden brown on the bottom. Okay, so we're going to let this sit here and we'll be back. Okay, so once you think it's golden brown on the other side, go ahead and turn it over. Then you want to press it back down and cook it again for about 2 to 3 minutes, so it'll be nice and crispy on the second side as well. Mix it up a little bit. And spread it back out. Ooh, we are all done. Look at that. Doesn't that look amazing? Oh my goodness, and it smells so, so good. Now, before I say anything else, I need to make one huge correction, okay? I do believe that all through this entire video, I kept saying I was making sticky rice. This is not sticky rice. This has nothing to do with sticky rice, okay? This is crispy rice. This is crispy rice, okay? Crispy rice. And crispy rice is what Bobby Flay is known for. Not sticky rice. Don't ask me why I kept calling it sticky rice. It is not sticky rice. It is crispy rice. And this is by far extremely crispy. Ooh, look at it again, guys. Look at that. Oh my goodness. So before we do our taste test, if you are new to the channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for coming in, hanging out with me today here in my kitchen. I really do appreciate each and every one of you guys. Take a second and subscribe to the channel. Let's get to 1.5 million subscribers. My returning subscribers, thank you so much. Channel members, thank you from the bottom of my heart. This is such an amazing dish. I love it. You can add vegetables in it and it can become a main dish. You can use it as a side dish. It pairs well with just about everything from poultry to seafood to beef to pork. It doesn't matter. It pairs very, very well. Now, typically, you would put salt and pepper in it. Like I said, I use my Pam's Prep all-purpose seasoning, and I love to use the macadamia nut oil because it is high heat and healthy. Okay? So, don't forget to check out my other channels, Pam's POV, Pam's Pop-Ups, and at the Scaredy Cat Gardener. So, let's go ahead and taste our crispy rice, y'all. Crispy. This is not sticky rice. Oh my goodness. Ooh. All the little crispy bits in there. You can't beat this. Oh my goodness. When you make this, you will understand when it comes to crispy rice. Oh my goodness. I will see you all next time. The good Lord willing and the creek don't rise. Bye-bye.